All right, let's get right into it. We all think we have a pretty good handle on the world around us. But what if I told you that some of the most common things hide the wildest secrets? That's what we're doing today. We are running the Trivia Gauntlet, a super fast-paced challenge packed with facts that are going to make you rethink everything. So get ready to test what you think you know.
Okay, first things first, we've got to warm up, right? This first round is just to get the brain buzzing a little. Think of these next couple of questions as a little taste of what's coming your way, just to get you in that curious mindset. Let's see how you do.
All right, here we go. First question for you. So think about national animals. You've got the American bald eagle, the Russian bear. They make sense, but then you have Scotland, a place just soaked in history and folklore. They went with something a bit more, well, mythical. Any ideas what it could be?
Yup, you heard that right. A unicorn. Now, I know it sounds like a totally bizarre choice, but when you think about it, as a symbol of purity and power in Celtic mythology, it actually starts to make a weird kind of sense. And honestly, it's the perfect way to kick off this gauntlet. The number one rule? Expect the unexpected. Okay, let's stick with the animal kingdom for one more warm-up question. And trust me, this one is a real head-scratcher. We all just assume milk is white, right? But there is one very large mammal out there whose milk is naturally pink. Yep, pink. Any guesses what animal we're talking about here?
Believe it or not, it's the hippopotamus. It turns out their bodies secrete these two acids, one's red, one's orange, and they mix with the milk and turn it pink. How wild is that? Okay, I think you're officially warmed up and thinking way outside the box, so let's dive into our first real round. Next up, it's time for our pop culture power-up. This is where we test your knowledge on all things entertainment. We're talking blockbuster movies, billboard hits, the stories behind the stories. Let's see what you've got.
Okay, let's kick things off with an absolute classic. The movie is Casablanca. Picture the scene. It's that final, foggy goodbye on the tarmac. Humphrey Bogart's character, Rick, says something to Ingrid Bergman's character, Ilsa, and it's one of the most famous and most misquoted lines in movie history. Do you know what he actually says? And hey, a little hint, it is not "Play It Again, Sam."
Here's looking at you, kid. That's it. Just 4 simple words, and they became completely iconic. So amazing. Okay, sticking with pop culture icons, let's jump from the silver screen over to the world of music. Okay, so you've definitely heard of Maroon 5. I mean, they're one of the biggest bands on the planet. But before all the fame, back when Adam Levine and the guys were just starting out in high school, they had a totally different name. And it was a very 90s name. Any idea what they were called?
Get ready for this. They were called Kara's Flowers. Seriously, can you imagine hearing, and now performing at the Super Bowl halftime show, Kara's Flowers? It just doesn't have the same ring to it, does it? It's just a great reminder that even the biggest stars have some pretty humble and, yeah, kind of awkward beginnings.
All right, to all my gamers out there, this next round is for you. It's time to power up for the video game quest. Let's find out if your knowledge of gaming history is as sharp as your reflexes in the game. Let's talk about a game that, it didn't just redefine a genre, it basically created its own. Minecraft. We all know it, we've all seen those iconic blocky worlds, it's a massive global phenomenon, but way back when it was just one guy's little side project, it had a much more simple and direct name. What do you think it was called?
It was just Cave Game. That's it. Not quite as catchy as Minecraft, huh? But when you think about it, the early game was all about digging around in caves, so it makes perfect sense. It really goes to show you that sometimes the simplest ideas can explode into something absolutely massive. Okay, here's a question that trips up a lot of Pokemon fans. It's the ultimate chicken or the egg scenario for the franchise. Which came first, the video games or the trading cards? Well, the original games, Pocket Monsters Red and Green, they hit the shelves in Japan in early 1996. And the trading card game? That came out later that same year. So there you have it. The epic quest to catch 'em all actually started on a Game Boy screen.
Okay, let's step away from the digital world for a bit and get back to reality with our Science and Nature's Secrets round. Prepare yourself for some truly unbelievable facts about the planet we call home and the amazing creatures that live here with us. I want you to picture the ocean's most famous predator, the shark. They're sleek, they're powerful, they've been around forever. And they have that iconic shape, right? That all comes from their skeleton. So here's what sounds like a simple question. How many bones are in a shark's body? The answer is 0. Zilch. not a single bone. A shark's entire skeleton is made of cartilage, the same stuff that's in your ears and the tip of your nose. It's just this incredible piece of natural engineering, all that power and speed without a single bone in their body. Amazing.
All right, let's go from the depths of the ocean up into the air. The English language has some really cool names for groups of animals, right? A pride of lions, a murder of crows. They're so descriptive. So what's the term for a big group of butterflies all fluttering together? It's a kaleidoscope. A kaleidoscope of butterflies. I mean, how perfect and poetic is that? It just perfectly captures that beautiful image of all those shifting colors and patterns. What a word. Okay, take a deep breath. You're gonna need it. It's time for the final challenge.
Okay, you've battled through pop culture. You've conquered video games. You've explored the natural world. This is it, the final challenge. We have saved one of the most jaw-droppingly unbelievable facts for the very end. Let's see if you can handle this one.
We have all had the hiccups. They're annoying, they're frustrating, but they eventually go away, right? Maybe after a few minutes, maybe an hour if you're really unlucky. So my question to you is, what is the world record for the longest non-stop hiccuping spree? And I'm telling you right now, whatever number you're thinking of, it's not even close.
Are you ready for this? 68 years. I am not joking. A man named Charles Osborne from Iowa hiccuped pretty much constantly from 1922 all the way to 1990. Just let that sink in for a second. It is an absolutely mind-boggling and I can't even imagine how exhausting world record.
And with that absolutely insane fact, you have done it. You've completed the Trivia Gauntlet. Wow. From Scotland's unicorn to a case of hiccups that lasted longer than most careers, we have covered some seriously weird and wonderful territory today.
So, as we wrap things up, I'm going to leave you with one last question to think about. Out of everything you just heard, the pink milk, Kara's flowers, the boneless sharks, what's the one fact that surprised you the most? The world is just filled with these incredible hidden details. And the best part? Knowing there's always something new and amazing to discover. So stay curious, my friends.